Now, this might look like just another wearable gadget, but it's trying to solve a problem we all ignore: how messy our digital lives are. Instead of 100 scattered voice memos you never listen to, the Plaud Note pin wants to organize your entire life with a single press. So, what exactly are we looking at? This is the Plaud Note pin. It's a tiny, pill-shaped device that weighs practically nothing, specifically 0.59 ounces. It's designed to be worn, not carried around in your pocket. You can clip it to your shirt, you can wear it as a necklace, or even slap it on as a wristband. All of these attachments can be bought online from the Plaud website, by the way. But before we get into all the AI magic that it does, I want to take you through a day in the life with this thing, because specs are cool, but utility is what really matters. Okay, so here's a scenario where this thing actually wins. And this happened to me the other day, actually. I'm in the middle of prepping for a shoot. I've got a camera in one hand and I'm adjusting the light stand with the other. And usually this is exactly when I remember something crucial that I need to say in the video or get an idea for a thumbnail. Normally I'd have to put the gear down, find my phone from my pocket, unlock it, and then open the Notes app. And by the time I do all that, the flow is actually broken and the idea actually gets a little fuzzy. But with the Note pin clipped right onto my collar or my wrist, I just reach up, give it a firm press. You get a little vibration feedback when you do that, and I just talk. And then you press it again to stop the recording. And that's it. My hands never stopped working, but the idea is captured for a later time for me to review. And that's the story here. It's about capturing the in-between moments, at least for me. Yes, you can transcribe your work meetings or meetings with clients or even college lectures using the Note pin, but this is how it works for me the best. Now let's talk about the hardware real fast as well. The recording quality comes from two high fidelity microphones that use beamforming algorithms to isolate our voice. In my time using the Note pin, I've never had an issue of it misinterpreting any of the words that I say. So as far as recording is concerned, it does a really good job to understand what exactly you're saying. And once you're done recording, you sync it up to the Plaud app, and this is where it gets interesting. It uses OpenAI's GPT-4o or Claude 3.5. You can actually choose between those two models to transcribe and summarize everything that was recorded. So I tested this with a messy, unstructured brain dump for a video that I'm planning, comparing my Tesla Model Y against the Tesla Model 3. And I was just rambling, listing off pros and cons, the stuff that I like and don't like, jumping between features and how the suspension feels on both of the cars. And the AI took that chaos and turned it into a structured, bulleted script outline with pretty much zero errors. Also, the Note pin supports 112 languages, offers speaker identification so it knows who's talking, and even creates mind maps if you're a visual learner, which can be helpful for a lot of people out there. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Sunny, I'm uploading my personal thoughts, my business ideas, maybe even like private messages to the cloud. Is that even safe? And honestly, with my background in cybersecurity, that's the first question I ask with every AI device that I usually come across these days. I'm usually pretty skeptical, trust me, but Plaud is actually leaning hard into the privacy angle here. The Note pin is SOC 2, HIPAA, and GDPR compliant. They use enterprise-grade encryption, and most importantly, your data is stored on a private cloud. That means nobody is listening to your recordings, and they're not using your personal notes to train their public AI models or anything like that. So if you're planning to use this for work, maybe sensitive client info or patient data, that level of security isn't just nice to have. It's a big requirement. Speaking of capturing things accurately, if you want to capture more tech reviews just like this one, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It's easier than pressing the Note pin, and unlike my grocery list, you probably won't regret it later. Okay, now let's talk battery life, because a wearable is useless if it's gonna be dead, right? Plaud rates this at 20 hours of continuous recording and about 40 days on standby. And in my testing, I haven't been able to kill it in a single day yet. So if you're a real estate agent showing houses all day, or a doctor taking patients, or just a content creator like me, that battery anxiety is pretty much non-existent. It also has a 64 gigs of built-in storage, which is kind of nice as well. So you don't need to sync it constantly if you're away from your phone. Now, even after all this, it's not going to be perfect, right? You really have to be okay with wearing a piece of tech on yourself. I mean, I get it. The necklace look, it's not going to be for everyone. And even on the wrist, it might feel a bit bulky compared to maybe a smartwatch or a fitness tracker. Also, the button requires a deliberate press. It's not a touch sensor. It's a physical squeeze press mechanism that you have to get used to. This is actually good in a way because it prevents any accidental recordings, but it might take, like I said, getting used to for a bit. All right, so let's talk about the price. The Plaud Note pin comes in about $159 usually. But because of their Black Friday sale going on right now, you can buy it for $127, depending on when you're watching this video, of course. There's a free tier that you get with the purchase of the device, which gives you about 300 minutes of transcription per month. For most people, that's going to be plenty. If you're recording lectures or 3-hour meetings daily, they have a pro plan for about $6 a month, which is billed annually. So that kind of bumps you up to about 1,200 minutes of transcription. So the real question, is it worth it? If you're someone who lives in their Notes app 24/7, or if you're a professional writer or an engineer, or just someone who has their best ideas when they're furthest away from the keyboard, this is a specialized tool that does one thing extremely well. It removes the barrier between your brain and your digital notebook. But for me, it's not going to be replacing my phone, but it is definitely going to be replacing the way I start my creative process. And that's a huge win in my book. Let me know in the comments below, would you actually wear a voice recorder, or is your phone enough for you? I'll drop my affiliate link down in the description below if you want to check out the current pricing or grab one for yourself. Test it out. I think it's a pretty solid product. And as always, thank you so much for checking out my video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.